Have you ever walked away from a first date wondering why you felt so forgettable? You dressed well, you asked all the right questions, you even made them laugh a few times, yet something was missing. That spark, that connection, that mysterious quality that makes someone unable to stop thinking about you. What if I told you that the difference between a forgettable date and an unforgettable one isn't about having the perfect line or wearing the right outfit? It's about the energy you bring. Think about it. We've all met those people who light up a room without saying a word. The ones who make you feel like you're the only person that matters when they're talking to you. The ones you can't help but be drawn to. That magnetic quality isn't random luck or some innate gift they were born with. It's a specific kind of energy that you can learn to cultivate. Today, I'm going to break down exactly what that energy looks like, why it works, and how you can embody it on your very next date. But first, let's talk about where most people go wrong. When we're nervous on a first date, and let's be honest, who isn't? We tend to fall into one of two traps. The first trap is performing. You become hyper-focused on saying the right thing, telling the perfect stories, proving how interesting or successful or funny you are. You're essentially auditioning for the role of person worth dating. The second trap is people-pleasing. You become so concerned with making a good impression that you start morphing yourself into whatever you think the other person wants. You agree with everything they say. You hide parts of yourself that might be controversial. You become a reflection of them rather than showing them who you really are. Both of these approaches might seem logical. After all, you want this person to like you. But here's the problem. Neither approach creates genuine connection. In fact, they actively prevent it. When you're performing, you're not present. You're in your head, planning your next impressive story rather than truly listening. And when you're people-pleasing, you're not authentic. You're presenting a curated version of yourself designed to avoid rejection. The irony? The very things we do to make people like us are exactly what keep them from falling for the real us. So what's the alternative? The energy that makes people fall for you on a first date is a delicate balance of three qualities: presence, authenticity, and playful curiosity. Let's break these down. First, presence. True presence means your full attention is with the person in front of you, not split between them and the running commentary in your head about how the date is going. When you're fully present, you notice things. The way their expression shifts when they talk about their family, the slight hesitation before they answer a question about their work, the way their eyes light up when they mention a passion. These observations aren't just interesting, they're doorways to deeper connection. They show the other person that you're really seeing them, not just going through the motions of a date. Presence also creates a sense of safety. When someone feels truly seen and heard, their nervous system relaxes. They open up. They feel they can be themselves with you. And that brings us to the second quality, authenticity. Authenticity doesn't mean sharing every thought that crosses your mind or trauma dumping on a first date. It means showing up as your real self, with your real opinions, preferences, and emotions. It means if they suggest a restaurant you don't like, you don't pretend to be excited about it. Instead, you might say, "I'm not the biggest fan of sushi, but I'd love to try that new Italian place around the corner." It means if they share a view you disagree with, you don't nod along to keep things smooth. You might say, "That's interesting. I actually see it differently," because this honesty creates trust. It signals that you're secure enough to be yourself, which makes the other person feel they can be themselves too. But authenticity without warmth can come across as harsh or self-centered. That's where our third quality comes in, playful curiosity. Playful curiosity is the antidote to taking yourself or the date too seriously. It's the energy that says, "I'm here to discover you, to enjoy this moment, to see where this goes." It's what allows you to ask deeper questions without it feeling like an interview. It's what helps you recover gracefully when you spill your drink or say something awkward. It's what keeps the conversation flowing into unexpected, delightful territory. When you bring playful curiosity to a date, you transform it from a high-stakes assessment into an adventure you're taking together. So how do you actually embody these qualities? How do you cultivate this kind of energy? It starts before the date even begins. Most people prepare for dates by thinking about what to wear or rehearsing stories to tell. But if you want to bring presence, authenticity, and playful curiosity, you need to prepare your mindset. Try this. Before your next date, take 5 minutes to center yourself. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, then ask yourself these questions. What am I genuinely curious about with this person? What parts of myself am I excited to share? How can I make this experience enjoyable regardless of the outcome? This simple practice shifts your focus from impressing or pleasing to connecting and discovering. When you arrive at the date, take a moment to ground yourself in your body. Feel your feet on the floor. Take a deep breath. Remind yourself that you're not here to perform or be perfect. you're here to be present. Then, as the date unfolds, practice these 3 techniques. First, listen to understand, not to respond. When they're speaking, resist the urge to plan what you'll say next. Instead, get curious about what they're sharing. Ask follow-up questions that show you're really listening. Second, share your authentic reaction. If their story about their childhood dog makes you tear up, don't hide it. If their joke genuinely makes you laugh, let it out. These natural reactions create moments of genuine connection that can't be faked. Third, embrace the unexpected. If the restaurant is too loud, suggest a spontaneous walk instead. If you discover a shared interest, get excited about it. Be willing to go off script and follow where the energy leads. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but what if they don't like the real me? What if being authentic scares them away? That's a valid fear. But consider this. Would you rather have someone fall for a version of you that you can't sustain, or would you rather find someone who's genuinely drawn to who you really are? When you bring genuine presence, authenticity, and playful curiosity to a date, you might not connect with everyone, but those you do connect with will be connecting with the real you. And that's the foundation of a relationship that can actually last. Let me tell you about my client Sarah. She came to me frustrated after a series of disappointing dates. She was attractive, successful, kind. On paper, she should have been connecting with people, but date after date ended with polite but lukewarm goodbyes. When I asked her to describe her approach to dating, I noticed something. She treated dates like job interviews. She asked all the right questions. She highlighted her accomplishments. She was pleasant and agreeable, but she wasn't present. She wasn't authentic, and there was no playful curiosity, just a methodical checking of boxes. We worked on shifting her energy. Instead of seeing dates as assessments, she began to approach them as opportunities for discovery. Instead of hiding her quirky sense of humor, she began to let it shine. Instead of asking standard questions, she began to follow her genuine curiosity. The change was remarkable. Within weeks, she met someone who couldn't get enough of her. He told me he loved how I wasn't trying to be perfect, she told me. He said it was refreshing to be with someone so real. That's the power of bringing the right energy to a first date. It's not about tricks or techniques or saying the perfect thing. It's about creating a space where real connection can happen. So the next time you're getting ready for a date, remember, they're not falling for your outfit or your job title or your carefully crafted stories. They're falling for your presence, your authenticity, your playful curiosity. They're falling for the energy that says, this is me. I'm here to discover you. Let's see where this goes. That's the first date energy that makes people fall for you. Not because you're perfect, but because you're real. Not because you're performing, but because you're present. And in a world full of carefully curated profiles and surface level connections, that kind of energy isn't just attractive, it's magnetic. I hope this helps you approach your next date with a different kind of confidence. Not the confidence that comes from believing you'll say all the right things, but the confidence that comes from knowing you don't have to. Just bring your presence, your authenticity, your playful curiosity. The rest will follow.